welcome to Keeping It Real TV Network, keeping it real in all aspects of life and giving back in more ways than one. My name is First Lady J, and I'm so excited that you are here with us this evening. Our topic this evening is sickle cell. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Please hit the share button, share with your friends, your family on your page. Tonight is going to be a night full of knowledge, and I am super excited. I'm excited to have our guest here this evening, Nahomie Acelin. Welcome. Kindly do the hand clap emoji in the comments and smash on those like buttons, the heart, all of them. Show some love to Nahomie. In our link below that is pinned to the comments, please be sure to check that out. That has all of our social media pages on there, as well as Nahomie's link that will take you to her book. She is an author and an activist, a strong activist for sickle cell. So we are so excited that you are here tonight with us, Nahomie. I am going to give you the floor and you introduce yourself to the people.
All right, thank you, Lady J. Thank you for inviting me. Hello to all the Keeping It Real family out there. So happy to be with you tonight. So again, my name is Nahomie Acelin. I am an author, wife, mother, and also activist for sickle cell disease in Canada. I can't wait to share my story with everybody. And yes.
Exciting. So exciting. So I guess we'll start like at the very, very beginning. And we'll just start off with maybe just explaining what sickle cell itself is, and then how you found out about sickle cell.
Right. So sickle cell, for those who don't know, sickle cell is an inherited disease that is passed down through the genes within the mother and father. So if two parents have a sickle cell gene, they have one in 4 chances to give the actual disease to a child. So sickle cell disease is a disease that affects the red blood cells. So everybody has beautiful round red blood cells that kind of has a dent in the middle that kind of carries oxygen throughout the body. But those who are affected by sickle cell disease, their red blood cell is of a sickle cell or a shape of a banana. And unable to carry oxygen throughout the body, which cause pain, which could cause also high risk of infection and just a lot of complications. One thing that the fact that your body is producing sickle cells, sickle red blood cells, it tends to clog the cells within the bloodstream and unable to kind of pass through, which could cause pain and cause hospitalization, could cause a patient to have transfusion and all. So it is a disease that affects mostly people from the Caribbean, African, and also parts of Asia as well. So a lot of people may not know what sickle cell disease is in Canada, but I think through the next few years, you guys are going to hear more about sickle cell, because we're going to go out there and also bring awareness to the disease and how it's affected more than 7,000 people here.
Wow. That's crazy. I'm just reading in the comments here really quickly. Some viewers are just saying that there is an echo. I'm not sure. Let's try maybe.
Do I have to speak a little bit louder, or is it still an echo?
Can you let us know if there's still an echo? Maybe try with no earphones. Let's see how that works, if it's any better.
Are you guys able to hear me now? Is it a lot better?
Is it better like that? I just don't want you guys to miss out on any of this knowledge that she is going to tell us.
Yes.
So make sure. Is it better? I'm just waiting to see some comments. I know there's a little bit of a delay, so when you can hear, please let us know. Okay, it's better, but it is still there. Okay, how's that? Any better? I think it should be okay.
Yeah.
But let us know. Let us know if it gets any worse or anything like that. But what I do want to tell you, and what you just told us was amazing, so thank you for that. Below, actually, I'm going to try to point to it right here. On our border, we've implemented what the sickle cell looks like. So here is the original cell and what Nahomie was just explaining. And this is what the sickle cell looks like, the banana shape that she was describing. So you can refer to that when she's speaking as well and what it looks like. And then the tube there is the veins.
Yeah,
the veins that it goes through, that you can see how it looks when it goes through. So but yeah, so that's a lot. The last number that you just gave us, that's a lot. So how old were you when you found out, or how did your parents tell you about it, or?
Right. So by the time, so I was born in 85. So at that time there was no screening for children where you know how when a child is born there has different blood tests that they have to do when they're young. Sickle cell was not part of those blood tests that was required at that time. Actually, it hasn't been more than 10 years since it's been part of the baby screening once a child is born. But anyway, so when I was 6 years old, I had to get shoulder surgery. And through my surgery, they found out that I had sickle cell trait. But because they called it sickle cell anemia, the confusion was that I had anemia and not sickle cell trait. So my parents kind of treated it as anemia. Because I had a little bit of symptoms. Even though I had the trait, I did have a lot of sickle cell symptoms here and there. So they kind of always kind of treated it as if it was anemia, but in reality was the fact that I had sickle cell trait. As I grew up, I kind of knew, doing research and everything else. But then when I met my spouse, you're in love, and then you guys get married, and you guys are talking about children. There was not this idea of us getting tested for sickle cell, because for me it was just something that I had. It was anemia or so. But then once we had our firstborn, and by the time they were actually doing screenings for children, and they told us 2 weeks after our son was born that he had sickle cell disease. And what happened is that when they said sickle cell disease, I kind of just thought it was just sickle cell trait, and then they were able to explain to us, no, it's more than the trait. It is the disease, which is going to require a lot of healthcare, a lot of it might bring complication. And what it did is that it kind of pushed my husband to go and do some genetic tests himself, and then he found out that he had sickle cell trait, and that's how we were able. That's why my firstborn had the disease, because my husband had the trait and I had the trait. So you have every time you have two parents with the trait, you have 1 in 4 chances that the child might have sickle cell disease or sickle cell trait. So and then my firstborn was diagnosed with sickle cell disease. At first, you kind of, as parents, you're kind of like, oh yeah, it's okay, we're going to be able to deal with it, like, and stuff like that. And then throughout the years, especially when he was younger, that's when we really understood the severity of the disease and how it could be very crippling for a child and stuff like that. So we had to kind of go through our journey, and we are, my oldest now is 11. He is a rambunctious 11-year-old who loves life. And through understanding of the disease and through our professional family, our healthcare professional family, we were able to kind of find ways where we are able to treat it on a daily basis. And some days are better than the other, but we're all in this together as a family.
That's amazing. That is so amazing. And I'm glad that he has support like you guys. 100%. Now, does it mean, and I know the answer to this, but I want to make sure that basics are covered just so that the viewers and our family on here can, understand it. Because if you have, again, like someone who has a trait is the same thing as being a carrier, right?
Exactly.
So if one is a carrier and another is a carrier, does it always mean that if you have a child together that the child will come out with a sickle cell disease?
No, it doesn't mean that automatically the child's going to have sickle cell, but you do have one chance out of four, I think, where you might have a child. So what happens is that you might have a child who has full-blown disease. You may have one child that carries the sickle cell trait, and you may have a child that does not have anything at all. I have three wonderful boys, and the way it works in my household, we have my oldest who have sickle cell disease. We have my middle child who does not have no trait, no disease, nothing, and then we have my youngest who has the disease. So it could skip totally a child, and maybe the next child does not necessarily going to have the same diagnosis. So.
Right, right. Yeah. So I'm glad that you did say that, and I'm glad that you did mention that, because, I don't want people to have the idea that, you have two people that are carriers and every child that they have will definitely, come out with this. So just something I wanted to share. A lot of people, if they don't know, now they'll know, that even me myself, like I am mixed, and I myself am a sickle cell carrier. And so from the border here that I was mentioning earlier, what my blood cells look like actually isn't listed on here. Mine is more of an oval than it is of the sickle, but it's not completely round. So yeah. So but it's amazing how like some people I know where both parents have been, like your middle child there being carriers, and then like they have absolutely nothing. They're not a carrier. And I think that's a 25% chance. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's 50% chance that the child can come out with the disease, and then 25 that they are a carrier, and then the other 25 that they have nothing. So so it's very, very interesting. Now, how do you as a parent, like, there's a lot that happens behind the scenes. Yeah. A lot that happens, and you see your child go through so much much at such a young age. Can you like explain what you go through? Because it's not just a simple fact of having this and, having the disease, and then, it's more to it, that behind of surgeries and transfusions. And so can you get a little bit into that, just so people understand?
I feel like when you have a child who has sickle cell disease, it's like having your heart being always ready for a heartbreak. Because every time you see your child going through pain or going through any kind of thing, your heart breaks for them, right? Like many times I prayed, like, God, just let me take that pain away, right? Because one thing sickle cell does, right? Like I said in the beginning, they tend to kind of, because it is of a banana shape, when it's going through the stream, the bloodstream, it gets stuck together. Right, which cause a lot of pain in different parts of the body. So I've seen my child scream out of pain. I've seen my child have surgery. Two of my kids had surgery. One of the first organ that kinds of are damaged due to sickle cell is the spleen. So both of my child have the spleen removed, and my youngest had his spleen and gallbladder removed. I've seen a little cold. Just a seasonal cold could cause such a big impact in our family. So if you get a little virus, right? A little virus, usually your body's going to have a fever, fight the virus for 2 days, and then you kind of carry on. But for a child who has sickle cell, a little virus or a little cold could cause hospitalization, could cause blood transfusion, could cause pain, could cause a multitude of issues. Unfortunately, we live in a climate, I live in Canada, which is a climate where our toughest months for us is the winter months, because there's so much possibility of different colds and viruses just running around. So there's a possibility where your child is just having a cold, and we go to the hospital, and we're spending 4 days at the hospital. We're missing a lot of weeks of days of work, trying to deal with work, trying to deal with just everyday life. I had in 2017, I had back-to-back hospitalization. So my child came with a virus that he, caught at daycare, and then four days at the hospital, and then my oldest catches the same virus. So we leave the hospital, and then we have to go back and spend another 4 days at the hospital. And kind of deal with that. And I have one beautiful middle child who doesn't have the disease, and he's looking at everybody, and we're running around trying to take care of the oldest and the youngest, and he's just in the middle trying to figure out his life, right? And we're trying to, find balance where we're able to give him the attention that he needs while we're trying to deal with two children that has sickle cell. We have moments where we can have months where there's nothing, and then we have months where it's just back to back, just things are happening. One thing that I said also, because the blood cell is sickle and is not carrying a lot of oxygen, those who are affected with sickle cell have a hard time when it comes to like intense sports. Or when it's if it's very hot outside, which could bring maybe some dehydration. So my kids are constantly drinking water. We have big jugs of water, like the office cooler. We have that in our home. Where they all gather together, and they're just drinking. We have our alkaline water as well that they're drinking. My oldest is a fanatic of soccer. He plays soccer. He plays in a team, but he not run long distance, so he has to take breaks often. My youngest as well. So I still have wonderful, rambunctious, full of energy young boys, but we see that sometimes their energy could go very high, and we also could see their energy going very low. We had to cancel a lot of family outings, family vacation. One thing that we've learned through time. One thing that is very hard for kids, especially in the summer, is leaving from hot to cold. So if the child is maybe outside and it's very hot, and it gets in the house and it gets cold very quickly, and he has shivers, that could cause pain in his body. So my kids they don't know how to swim, because we haven't actually put them in swimming lessons, because that would require them to be in the cold water for a long time, which could cause pain in the body. It could cause a crisis. We call them crisis. So we went for that family vacation this summer, and for my kids, everybody has little shorts. Other kids have little shorts and are able to get into the pool. My kids have a full snorkeling suit. Scuba diving suit that keeps their body at a 25-degree, and that's how they're able to actually play in the water for a long period of time, because if not, it could cause them a crisis, and we could be in the hospital for some children could be in the hospital for 4 days, and some children after a crisis can be at the hospital for 2 weeks to even months after being a crisis. And when we say crisis, guys, it's a lot of pain. The pain that children feel when they have a crisis, that means their blood cells are stuck together and they're unable to carry out, and there's pain in their body. It resembles like if the child is being stabbed. Okay, so some children, when they get to the hospital, they have to get through a high level of morphine to help with the pain and stuff like that. So it's a lot of stuff, but by the grace of God, I feel like we've learned how to deal with it. And we kind of created a routine. We created some ways to deal with the different level of pain or sickness a child may have in our home. So through time and experience, we've learned a lot.
Wow. I didn't realize that it feels like a stabbing. Like, oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh wow. Thank you for that. I didn't even realize that there was like a swimsuit that I didn't even realize. Like,
But there's not actually a swimsuit. Is that after doing research? So what happened is that my oldest, we brought him to the pool for the first time, and then he got out of the pool, and then he started having extreme pain in his body. We were in the hospital for a long period of time, and it was really hard. And then we realized that for him, his triggers is from hot to cold. So putting his body in a pool that is very cold could cause him to have shivers, and then cause sweat through. I went to this scuba diving, this scuba diving store in Gatineau, and I spoke to the gentleman. He's like, and I'm like, okay, do you guys have suits for like, if you guys are going into the ocean, it's really cold? And he's like, yes, we have a scuba diving suit that usually keeps the body at 25 degrees and blah, blah, blah. So I was able to purchase one for my son. And since then, every time he goes into the water, he doesn't get cold, which causes him to have less pain. And then he's able to actually enjoy the summer. He does look weird though, because everybody's like everybody's in the shorts and he's walking around with a scuba suit. But he's learning to deal with it. He's 11 years old, so he's able to understand. And for him, he's understanding. I'd rather be wearing my scuba suit than to be in pain for days, right?
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's great. I didn't even know or realize that part myself. So thank you so much for that. What are some ways though, like, people can help a family or even their child if they're going to school with another child that has sickle cell? What are ways that they can help them?
There's many ways our population can help those with sickle cell. The first thing that is very, very important, most sickle cell patients, because they're not able to produce a good amount of healthy red blood cells, they need a lot of transfusion. Okay, so a lot of people they might not understand the reason why giving blood is so important, but giving blood has saved my children and has saved many lives. And I want to kind of shoot my shot with those who are in my community, those who are maybe Caribbean descent or African descent, or even places in Asia, to give blood. Because if we have someone of the same ethnicity and the same or origin giving blood, it's easier for us when our children are getting blood transfusion, that they can actually go into a bank where they can say, okay, someone of maybe Caribbean descent has given blood. That's going to help. Because genetically, it makes more sense to have someone from the same culture or the same ethnicity to give blood. So I really want to encourage those who are from the Caribbean or even from Africa or even India, places in Asia, please give blood. It saves lives. I've seen my sons had multiple transfusion, and having people with the same ethnicity, it kind of helps them in a way genetically when there's blood, the blood is running through their veins. So that's one way to protect to help those with sickle cell disease. The other one is that and I don't because teaching your children how to sneeze in their arms is really important. There's a lot of viruses that are out there. Of course, we're dealing with COVID. We're in a pandemic right now, and we're dealing with COVID and everything else. But one thing that we realize is that a lot of parents, which is normal, it's understandable, the child is sick, they're still going to bring the child to school. But what they don't understand is that if you're bringing a child to school, even though you know that they might be sick with a fever, for those children who are in school, who might be going through leukemia, sickle cell, or different sickness, you're now bringing like the risk factors for them to even have complication even higher because you decided not to keep your children at home. And I know there's a lot of circumstances because we have people work and stuff like that, which I can't really judge that, but that's something that we need to start thinking about, that we do have children in our schools who have sickle cell disease or are going through cancer, who are going through different diseases. And we forget that, we need to work as a community and also protect these vulnerables in our society, right? my kids had COVID in January, and we were panicking because I'm like, okay, COVID, sickle cell, that can be extremely dangerous. And if you go into the CDC website, one of the disease that is listed as a disease that is very that the people who have this disease are very vulnerable to great sickness due to COVID-19 is sickle cell disease patient. One thing that I've realized throughout for us is that since everybody now are wearing masks and are using sanitizing and they're trying not to cough everywhere, it's been kind of good for those who've been going through sickle cell disease because there's less bugs and less viruses running around because all of us are wearing masks. But the grace of God, my kids did have COVID, but nothing major happened to them, and they were able to recover from it.
And we thank God for that. Absolutely. We thank God for that. I just want to step back for one moment in regards to giving blood. Question is if somebody is a sickle cell carrier or has a sickle cell disease, are they able to give blood?
So those who have sickle cell disease cannot give blood. Since no, they cannot, but someone with sickle cell trait might be able to give blood.
Okay.
But might be able to give blood, yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that was put out there just in case, you never know.
Right.
That's interesting, and yes, I'm so glad that they were able to overcome that obstacle of COVID, and that they are good and that they are fine, and so I'm very thankful for that. So you mentioned about how people can help out. What I do know too is that you are in touch with quite a few different organizations and places like that. Did you want to touch on that? Maybe somebody doesn't know what to do, but maybe they can donate. How does that work?
So if you ever want to donate blood, of course, we have our Canadian blood services, which is available to anybody who would like to give blood. For those who are in the Ottawa area, it is on Alta Vista, I think in Riverside, Riverside, I'm not sure, where you could give blood. We've partnered with the Sickle Cell Disease Association of Canada for a couple of years now, and all they've been doing also in Canada. One thing that they're pushing right now and raising money for is a registry. So we have approximately 7,000 people who we know have sickle cell disease. But we don't have numbers of how many people have sickle cell trait.
Okay.
And one thing that we want to do is to create kind of like a registry of people that we know that might have the disease or the trait, where we could then be able to create clinics and also be able to provide service to those who are in need. A lot of people think because you have the trait that there's no symptoms that are associated with it, but there are some people who have the trait and have symptoms of sickle cell, smaller portion, and stuff like that. So we want to be able to provide resources. There's a lot of places in Canada that still doesn't know about sickle cell disease or sickle cell trait or sickle cell anemia, and by doing the registry, we'll be able to bring more awareness to the disease. But also, there's different chapters. So if you're in Ontario, there's the Sickle Cell Association of Ontario. If you're in Quebec, there's the Sickle Cell Association in Quebec, where you can kind of get in touch with, and then they have different activities. There's different things that are available for those who want to know more about the disease. But also, if you are someone who has sickle cell disease, or you know someone who has sickle cell disease, but they feel alone and kind of going through going through this themselves, because I'm in the aspect of the parent, right, where I have children with sickle cell, but then those children become teenagers, adults, and they need as well the same support. After 18 years, or depending on the process, after 16 or 18 years, the child no longer has the same services provided as a child. So there's a lot of stigmas, and there's a lot of information that we need to kind of pass around in our society so people can know. One of the things is that an adult who has sickle cell disease need a lot of painkillers to deal with the pain in their body. So when you're an adult, and I'll just take that as an example, you're a black man, or black adult going to the hospital asking for painkillers, they're not going to think that you have sickle cell disease, but they're going to think you have a substance abuse
Absolutely.
problem, right? So what they do, they won't treat you. So what happens is that there's a lot of discrimination with adults having sickle cell disease. Okay, so we need more information out there. We need to talk to our healthcare providers. The first time my son had to be hospitalized and we had to take an ambulance, we went into the ambulance and we're trying to tell, okay, my son has sickle cell disease, and the ambulance workers were looking at like, I don't know what that is. We get to the hospital, we tell the nurse he has sickle cell disease, and this person is like, I've never heard of this.
Wow.
So there's a lot of information that needs to be given into our healthcare departments, our healthcare professionals, from doctors to nurses to social workers. So we need people to kind of, if you know someone who has sickle cell disease or even the trait, be a partner with them, be a voice to them. Sometimes a lot of patients with sickle cell disease tend to deal with the issue by themselves because of the shame and because of the stigma that is attached to it sometimes. But if you know someone that has the disease, a parent or a child or an adult or a teenager, please support them. They need support. It's really important. And Canada is a little bit behind when it comes to the awareness compared to maybe the States. But I'm really hoping that in the next couple of years, we're going to hear more about sickle cell disease and how it's impacted. One person with sickle cell disease is already too much, but we have 7,000 people who need support.
Yeah, wow. That's and the thing is too, like, so I have a friend from my past who had sickle cell disease, and I remember her telling me that her monthly medication was over $400. Only the medication.
Yeah.
That's not her living expenses. That's not anything else. That's just for her medication, just for her to be able to cope with what she was dealing with. And so it's not surface stuff. It's quite deep. And so I love that you are a big activist in this area, and bringing it to light and shedding light, because I didn't even realize about the 7,000.
And I want to just add something. Sorry for interrupting, but I just wanted to add something. When you have a child that has sickle cell disease, then they automatically have a pre-existing disease. So they cannot get insured.
Wow.
Right? Because it's a pre-existent disease or sickness. So a lot of people who are walking in our nation with sickle cell disease cannot get insurance because it becomes a pre-existing
Wow. I didn't
disease.
realize that.
They have a hard time. So that's why some of them, a lot of people with sickle cell disease struggle with finances. Especially if they're constantly in pain and need treatment, they tend to not keep a job at a long period of time because there's a lot. So I work for the federal government. So we in the federal government, we have what? We have sick days, we have vacation days, we have family-related days, and everything else like this. But if you have someone who's just working at a private sector and don't have sick days or vacation day, one hospitalization could take all of your sick days, could all of your vacation days, and all of your stuff. So a lot of people with sickle cell disease tend to fight or struggling rather with finances, struggling with keeping a job. It's not because they're not willing. It's just their body is not cooperating with them. So a lot of them, they have to pay, like you said, high amount of medical bills or medication. If it wasn't for the fact that myself and my husband work for the federal government, our medication for just our two children with the disease would have been approximately $400 to $500.
And that's probably right.
Yeah. Right now, because they're young, it's not so. It would be 500 for both. But once they get older, they need more doses, more like depending on how severe the sickle cell can be, more medication can be added to that. So it is something we need support. We need to find even insurance companies that are going to be able to pick up kids or children with sickle cell. So as they go throughout their life, they're able to be insured and don't hit poverty because they have to choose between food and medication. Like that does not make sense, especially for living in Canada.
Right. I agree. And this country is a rich country, so
That's absolutely. Like, we just spent $600 million. But I'll keep that for myself.
And that was the thought going through my head too.
Right.
To end up in the same spot. Okay.
Right.
Anyhow.
Moving on.
I did want to ask really quickly too. You made the point that people that have the trait or are carriers, they also have signs, and they may be a lot smaller, not so out there. What would those be? What would those?
Some of the signs are if you are always thirsty, or if you are you're very winded very easily. What happens a lot actually is that we have a lot of athletes who are playing football, basketball, and they're exerting themselves to 100%, and then they go home and they pass away. And then when we do the autopsy, we're like, oh, this person has sickle cell trait. That's one of the reasons why. Because if you don't, even with the trait, you have to learn to identify some of the signs that are happening in your body. Or you're always having cramps where your spleen is all the time. Having cramps under your rib cage. Or you're always thirsty. Always need to drink water. You're very winded. You are playing sport, but you get a little bit more tired than other people. Have a lot of headaches. Have a lot of headaches. So these are little signs of maybe of having, even though you have the trait, that things might happen in your body. That you might just think is just like, oh no, okay, I have a headache, just pop some Tylenol. Or I have a cramp, I'm just going to sit down a little bit. Or, I'm tired, but I just need to change this because I'm just tired. But that could be little signs of the actual trait manifesting into your body.
Wow. And is that something that somebody should go check out? Like, meaning in the sense of go to the hospital because of that, or just pay attention to that, knowing that you need more liquids or that type of thing?
So what's happening in our healthcare system is that people are treating sickle cell disease, but they're not treating sickle cell trait. Okay, so they're like, oh, you have the trait, you're okay, as long as you don't have the disease. But in reality, someone who has the trait may have some of the symptoms. So it's important that if you're having reoccurring symptoms like that, to go talk to your doctors. Like, okay, I have sickle cell trait. What are the different stuff that I'm able to do that could help me if I'm feeling this way or feeling that way? Not to be ignorant of these signs, but be able to recognize them and have better treatment for yourself or parameters. What tends to happen? Oh my God, I only have the trait, but I'm running around. I'm gonna go on to 100. I don't know, 50 kilometers of marathon. Okay, yeah, you can do it, but make sure that you have everything in place in case something happens. Right? So it's finding those tools that you need to have as you're going through your daily life.
Right. And that's good to know, because I actually know people firsthand that have been told by professionals that having the trait or being a carrier, all that it means is if you were taken to the hospital, that you would just need extra oxygen, more oxygen than the average person. That's it. And so it's good to know what you're saying, because if there are other signs, like you said, shortness of breath and always wanting to drink, fluid and just you want to make sure that you are aware of this, because I'm telling you, there's a lot of people out there that have no idea that you can actually have signs if you are, have the trait of this.
Absolutely. And that's the thing is I think it's also the misinformation. Like I said, we focus more on the disease and not the trait, but the trait still tells you that there's still possibility of lack of oxygen in your body. Right? That your red blood cells are still not properly shaped.
Right.
So So it's not only about just having oxygen when you get to the hospital. Because by the time you get to the hospital, if you need extra oxygen, it's because there's stuff that was not done prior to that. So the minute that you start feeling a certain way, treat it. Drink a lot of water. Make sure that you are hydrated. Make sure that you're not exerting yourself too much physically. Make sure you're eating well and stuff like that. So there's little stuff like that we for sure have to know, especially if you are carriers of the disease.
This is so amazing. So much information tonight. I am so thankful that you have shared this with us. Really quickly, before we bring this to a close, I want you to touch on your book. Tell us about your book that you have written and about the water. I'm excited. Okay.
Yes. So I don't know if everybody can see here. Almost 2 years ago, like I said, I have three wonderful boys, and they are fanatic of superheroes. Marvel for them, it's like they're obsessed with superheroes. So what we used to do, especially for my oldest, who has the disease, every time we would get to the hospital when he needed a blood transfusion or needed hospitalization, we would always tell him, "But you're the hero, you're the superhero. If you take your transfusion, it's going to give you more power and you're going to have more strength, right?" And me and my husband always would just talk about it and just use the example of superheroes and stuff like that. So and then those stories kind of develop in our home where our kids were always superheroes, and before bedtime we would use them as example and just kind of talk about them as superheroes. So 2 years ago, I decided to. I was like, you know what? I would love to write a book about the kids, but to bring awareness to the disease at the same time. And I was kind of thinking about it and stuff like that, and I just started penning, just started writing. And the story kind of came to life. And the story is about three wonderful boys, they're called the Felix Brothers, which is their last name, who have superpowers. And the way that they're able to transform into their super form is by getting a blood transfusion called hemoglobin. And out of that, and it kind of brings a... And always, I wrote the book for my son, but then gradually I realized that there's a lot of children who are going through different diseases, from leukemia to cancer to sickle cell, no matter what, or even type 2 diabetes, diabetes, stuff like that they don't see themselves in the book, right? So my kids in the book, they know that they have sickle cell and they need a blood transfusion so they can be able to fight the different viruses or the different bacteria that is happening in their city. So for me, yes, this book is kind of dedicated to my sons and those who are fighting sickle cell, but it's dedicated to every child that might be going through, and letting them know that you've been through a lot, but you are superheroes, you have superpower, and you're able to fight this. You're going to be able to fight that disease or fight whatever you're going through in your life. And that's the reason why I wrote the book, and it was kind of a love letter to my children, but it became kind of a tool for awareness for sickle cell, and I was able to, for the past year and a half, we were able to kind of push the book and talk about sickle cell to different news outlets that never heard about sickle cell. So I'm really proud about it. But in the meantime, we were able to partner with one thing a sickle cell patient needs to do is hydrate. It's super important to hydrate. So, and my kids are always carrying bottles. So we're like, why don't we create their own bottle here? So it's an alkaline water. So we partnered with a company called Prodrate, they specialize in sport drinks. And they were able to create a limited time offer of our Super Felix alkaline water, and $5 of each case is bought is going to go to the Sickle Cell Association of Canada, where they're going to be able to use that money and create that registry where we can actually help those in different cities throughout Canada to provide healthcare services to our patients around Canada.
That is so exciting. Can you hold it up just a little higher? Just a little higher?
Higher, okay.
Yes. There you go, perfect.
Okay, we have the characters that are in the book, and it's alkaline water. It's really important. The alkaline water is available on Amazon. You can just write Prodrate alkaline water, and you'll be able to find the bottle. It's really important. Please go purchase this bottle. It's going to help our cause. It's going to help us help those who are in need. And please go purchase the book, The Battle of Autobots. And please be on the lookout for the second book that is going to be released next year. So now I'm a whole author. I'm a whole children's author now. So now my passion is to continue to read and write about their story and write about every other child that might be going through, and letting them know you are superheroes and you're going to be able to fight this, and you got your back.
Got your back. I love it. Amazing. Again, our link that is pinned below, you will find our social media pages on, but you will definitely find Nahomie's link there as well. Now listen, this here is a really, really, really good, if it's not for yourself or for your child, it's a good gift. Christmas is coming.
Yes.
It is around the corner.
Thanksgiving is coming.
Yes, Thanksgiving is coming.
Remembrance Day is coming.
There's everything.
Just time.
Tomorrow is coming.
Tomorrow.
But listen, honestly, like it would make a great gift. And at the same time, as much as we are wanting our children to read and have knowledge and educate them, this is an excellent way of making sure that our children are aware of other children that are out there and what they're going through and what, even them themselves are going through. And that, to be honest, Nahomie, I don't know of any other children's book out there that deals with sickle cell. Like, I think it's amazing.
For a child, it's not super blatant. Like the message is not on sickle cell. For a child who may not know about sickle cell, it's going to be just another superhero book. But for a child who has cancer or sickle cell disease or any other disease, they're going to see it as encouragement. So it is. It's for everyone. It's for everyone, and also, like you said, it's to educate as well. Also, just to get books in the hands of our kids. Let's remove the tablets and let's give them a book.
Absolutely, I agree. And like one of our viewers stated, don't wait until tomorrow. Do it today. So yes, do it today.
Absolutely.
Go and purchase it today. Amazon, especially if you're with Prime, they'll have it there for you for tomorrow. So it'll be a great bedtime story for tomorrow.
That's right.
Exactly. But I'd love to thank you, and thank you like so much from the bottom of my heart for being here, and we really appreciate you, and all of this knowledge tonight is great. You've definitely given me some knowledge that I wasn't even aware of myself, and I know that you have encouraged and edified others, part of our family in the feed, and what have you. So again, please share this broadcast, because it will definitely, we want it out there, and we want people educated. And please go and follow Nahomie as well. She's on Instagram. She is on our flyer. She's tagged in the flyer, and as well as on the Facebook page. So please go and follow her. And maybe even after this, Nahomie, you can go back in and like put your contact details in there.
Absolutely.
Follow her, support her. And if you know of a family that is going through something like this, it's not always money that is needed. Sometimes it's the fact of, going to watch a child while the parents go out on a date, or, if they're close enough to you, if they're family and they're within your circle, that maybe you can cook a dinner for them or something. So be kind, be gracious, and be generous at the same time. So thank you again. Thank you
for having me. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk about this disease. And I think as a community, we come together and alleviate some of the pressure in the hands of their parents and adults and children who are dealing with sickle cell. Again, if you are not able to buy the book or the bottle, give blood. That saves a life.
Yes, I love that. Such a great point. Amazing. So thank you, family, for joining us tonight, the KIR TV network family, for joining us. It was so great that you were on here with us. And until next time, head high, shoulders back, go get what's yours. Bye.